Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Nev here on Rainbow Tarot UK. So lovely to have you here. Thanks ever so much for popping by. And today we're doing a message that is meant to reach you. So we've got our 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, that is this card. Card number 10, and it says the Hanging Bones, Seeing the Signs. There we go, with the purple agate here. And then pile number 2, which is a card that says Bewitched, You're Under a Spell, and that is the rose quartz crystal. And then pile number 3, which says Witching Herbs Nourishment, and that is the red jasper here. So there you go, those are your 3 piles. Go for the one that feels right, and I'll see you very soon in your reading. Bye for now. Hey pile number 1, welcome back to your reading. So today we're doing a message that is meant to reach you, that you're meant to hear, that you're meant to find, and you chose to come into the reading under this card. This is the Witching Hour Oracle, by the way, if you're interested. But anyway, this is number 10 and it's called the Hanging Bones, Seeing the Signs. So talk about a message that is meant to reach you. So there might have been a lot of signs coming your way, or the universe might have been trying to send you signs, trying to get you, trying to say, trying to get you to hear something, trying to get you to see something. So I feel like this message is really meant to find you, pile number 1, without a doubt. So this is the purple agate as well that you chose to come into the reading on. Let's put that there. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Let us get out some oracle cards, shall we? So let's get out one of these ones. So what is the message, please? Just as well, it's a general reading, so please just take the messages, the ones that feel right to you. Don't sort of take a message that doesn't feel right. And also, if you feel like you want to subscribe, then that would be great. Particularly if you want to see more readings like this one. But anyway, let's get straight to it. So for pile number 1, what is the message that they're meant to hear today? What is the message, please? Let's get this one out. We have got the Poets. Okay, beautiful. The Poet. Right, and look at all these birds here as well. So I feel like with the birds here all showing up, like you are definitely supposed to hear something. You're supposed to pick up on something. You might already have, you might have somebody who has a lot of intuition or relies on their intuition a lot, actually, with the Poet here. You might be somebody who's very creative with the Poet here. Okay, so let's get a rune. No, let's get one of these out. So what is the message that is meant to reach pile number 1 today, please? The Child, positive. A child of youth, spontaneity, integrity, good company. There's something about your, because often we're at our most, it's not that we're at our most creative when we're a child, but creativity and being very creative when you're a child just is like natural, isn't it? I think as we get older, we tend to, or life, or our culture, or our, what's around us, we tend to quash it a little bit. But I think when we're a kid, it's just something that's very natural within us. And I feel there might be something around you maybe needing to tap more into your creativity, or create something, manifest something that's going to give you joy, something that you are going to really love, something that you can nurture, something that you might have been suppressing somehow. I feel like maybe something that you've been suppressing. So maybe it's a creative vision, or a creative idea, or a creative pursuit, or something like that. And you could also, you can actually be a writer. Some of you might actually be writers with the Poet here. So it's about reminding you to nurture that, to bring that out, to kind of foster that, if you like, to bring it out into the open somehow. And maybe you haven't been doing that up until now, or you haven't been letting it out. I feel like there's something that needs to be let out here with all these birds coming out. Some kind of communication. So for many of you, you could be writers, or something where you're, where you are creative in a kind of written way. So I suppose that would be a poet or a writer or something like that. But it doesn't have to be. But maybe you're just a communicator, or somebody expresses themselves verbally. So maybe there's something about that which you need to nurture now, something along those lines. But anyway, let's get this out. So what is the message that pile number 1 needs to hear right now? What do they need to hear? What is the message that needs to reach them? Okay, so what have we got here? Library. Now that's interesting with all the books, isn't it? Again, with the library, writing, the written word, that kind of thing. It says take control of your own narrative. Take control of your, so you might have been allowing other people or other things in life to control you and not allow you to express yourself in the way that you want to be expressed, or the way that you want to express yourself. So there's something about, maybe you've been hindered by what other people think, or hindered by maybe what other people feel about what you want to do or what you like doing. So maybe there's an element of that, and you've been allowing that to control you. Whereas I think the message here is like, and it could be that actually you've got a very strong intuitive side to your character, which you've been holding back on, or you've been not nurturing. So maybe there's something about that as well. You needing to just kind of come out into your own light, to shine your own light, to be individual, to be an individual. I feel this reading is very much about saying you want to nurture, or should be nurturing, your individuality. You should be celebrating that, rather than maybe not, or ignoring that, or not feeling like it's the right thing for you to be doing. Something along those lines. Okay, so let's get the rune out. What rune do we have here? So what is the message that is meant to reach pile number 1, please? What is the message? We have Naudes. Delays, restriction, resistance leading to strength. Innovation, need, fire, so self-reliance, distress, confusion, conflict, and the power of will to overcome them. Yeah, you might have been holding yourself back, pile number 1, in some way, restricting yourself, delaying. It could be the pursuit of a dream, or the pursuit of this kind of creative venture, or a creative idea, or just stepping out of maybe the conventional. So you might have been caught up, and there's nothing wrong with the conventional, don't get me wrong. We all need to be conventional to some degree, don't we? But because we've all got to live in the 3D world. But what I'm saying is, it could be that you have been resisting that little voice, or that urge, or that feeling that is that creative spark within you to kind of like do the thing that you really want to do. And for many of you, it could be writing or poetry or some kind of creative outlet or pursuits that somehow I feel like you've been pushing down. And that causes a lot of inner conflict, doesn't it? Because when you do that, you're not really, and we don't pay attention to the signs, that our body or our mind or our intuition is telling us or giving to us to follow a certain path. And we don't do that. We just become more frustrated. And it could be that we don't do it out of fear, or, there are certain practical things or whatever. And those things are real, don't get me wrong. But I just feel that there's something about your situation which you need to take control of, that you need to now make a move on, if you know what I mean. Make that first move towards going for whatever it is you want to go for, or whatever it is you want to do. To nurture it, to support it, to love it, because it's a part of you, to love that aspect of yourself, which might be a little bit, left afield or whatever. But it is very much you, and it's time now to love it and celebrate it and support its growth, really. But let us get another. Let me get another card. Let's get some tarot. Yeah, so, what is the message that is meant to reach pile number 1 right now, please? What is their message that they should hear, that they should it should reach them. Six of Pentacles, Three of Cups, the World, the Three of Swords, and the Hermit. And the Hanged Man. Yeah, I feel like now is what the message is, that now is the time for you to take stock of where you are in life. Okay, so with the Hanged Man, you need to take stock. You need to take, it might be that you need to take some time out with the Hermit to shift your perspective on where you are in life. And it might mean that you have to. Well, you don't have to do anything actually, but what it's advising you to do maybe is to listen more to that inner voice with the Hermit here that is telling you to follow a certain path or go down a certain path, which you may have resisted in the past. Because the Hangman is also about shifting your perspective. So I feel like it's time now to shift your perspective, to move into the path that I feel that you should be on. The World card tells me it's like the end of it might mean with the Three of Swords and the World card that it's the end of, it's coming into the end phase of a certain cycle. So there's a certain cycle of your life where maybe you haven't felt fulfilled, you haven't felt like you're doing the things that you should be doing, that you want to be doing, I should say. And it's time to close off that chapter now with the Three of Swords here in the World, and to shift your perspective. It might mean that you have to have some alone time, really, with the Hermit card here. Because often when we go through these shifts in life, or we go through major, and I feel like this might be a major shift for you, often we might need space to do that, to be reflective, rather than, to get off the treadmill and be reflective, to think deeply about what we want in life. I feel like with the Hermit card, it's time now to think deeply about what you want in life. And I think really you've always known that, but there has been some resistance to it. And I think with the Three of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, it's time now to give to yourself. With the Six of Pentacles, it's a card of generosity. I feel like it's time now to give the very thing that you, so think about whatever wish or dream or desire that you have, and for many of you that could be something creative, some pursuit, something that you wanted to build or grow, something that speaks to your heart. I think the most important thing is that it speaks to your heart. So whatever that is now is the time to give that to yourself. To give to yourself. And if you do that, it'll be a time of huge celebration for you, because the Three of Cups is like celebration, it's happiness, it's joy. And I feel like maybe for many of you that has been missing a little bit in your life up until now. And what this message is saying is now is the time to move into a new cycle, a new phase, after a period of deep reflection, and it might be, there might be certain losses with that. There's no denying that there might be certain losses, but it will be a fresh new cycle that will actually mean that you're nourishing yourself. You're giving your soul, if you like, you're giving your soul what your soul needs, really, which is generosity. You're being kind to yourself. So maybe before, because with all this angst and not really being in control of your own life, or not feeling like you're in control of your life, or going down a path that's not really the path you want to go down, it causes quite a lot of suffering, doesn't it? So I feel like what this is saying is it's time now to end that, and to move into something where you are generous to yourself, or you're loving yourself, or you're giving yourself what you want, what you need, and emotionally it's fulfilling for you. And provide you with happiness. And I feel like the universe has actually been trying to give you lots and lots and lots of signs to do that. And maybe there's been some resistance to it. And there might be certain practicalities. I'm not saying that you should just kind of give up everything, give up your job, give up all those sorts of things. I'm just saying It could be something quite small that you need to do, but you need to start to give yourself some nourishment, to give yourself some nourishment, to give yourself some space, some love, some generosity, and so that you get out of a feeling of being stuck, of unhappiness, of things maybe just being in suspension, things not really moving, feeling stuck, that kind of thing. But there needs to be sort of like a shift in you, really, in your perspective. And sort of having a perspective whereby everything is possible. You know, things are possible again. You can make things happen for yourself. You can have a creative outlet. It is okay to do that. You can, you know, be a little bit unconventional. It is okay to be that way. You know, so it's just about loving yourself, giving yourself more love, acceptance, accepting yourself, really accepting that part of yourself that maybe you have denied here. But let's see what else we've got. What is the message that is meant to reach part number 1 today, please? What is their message? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, new beginnings coming. 6 of Swords. The 8 of Pentacles. The 9 of Swords. And the Queen of Swords. And the overarching energy is the 2 of Cups. Okay. Pull these up a little bit. For many of you, I feel that this new cycle, or this end of a difficult cycle, I should say, could be within the sphere of work here, under the 8 of Pentacles. So it could be that you have been in a job or in work where it's not really doing it for you. I don't know if you can see this girl, woman. She's on her chair. And she's got all these things around her, but she's really focused on this one thing that is kind of like taking up her time and attention. So I feel like that is the one thing, that is that dream that you have, that is that thing that you really want to do within work, that you've not been allowing yourself to do. So for many of you, it could be a dream, a new beginning, a new venture, maybe a new business, or a course that you want to do, or something that makes your work much more fulfilling for you. And much more focused. So you bring all your focus, all your attention to this one thing, which has been the thing that you've really wanted to do, right? So it could be that within work. I certainly feel there's been a lot of stress. There's definitely been a lot of stress. You've been under a lot of stress. And I think a lot of that is because, excuse me, is because you've not, for whatever reason, maybe you haven't been true to yourself. And that's not a criticism by any means, because, you know, we do sometimes go through life where we think we have to make decisions and choices that aren't necessarily the ones we want to go for, but, you know, we have to do. That is real. But there's something about unnecessary stress because you've decided to block off. Maybe you've decided to just block off, because this little heart is here. I feel like it's a little heart that's been locked up here. Because you've decided to block off, or you decided to block off that part of yourself, which, you know, that part of yourself that makes you very happy. And I can't help feeling that for many of you, that is to do with a creative outlet, or your work, or something creative within your work, or something that's left field that maybe you think and fear won't be accepted or won't be well thought of. And it might not be. But the point is that what I'm saying is you need to think about what's important for you, isn't it? So this is why it goes back to this card. You know, it doesn't matter what other people think, really. It's about you realising that actually the only person's opinion that matters in your life is actually your own. Because it doesn't matter what you do in life, there'll always be someone. It doesn't matter how fantastic you are, there's always going to be somebody that's not going to be happy with it. So you might as well just do what you want to do, really. And I feel like it's about you being asked to be more true to yourself, being asked to do the right thing for yourself, to move away from stress, unhappiness, things that aren't nourishing you, aren't nurturing you, and having a tangible new beginning, which again is like, it's just reminding me of a little seed, you know, like something that can grow, that you can nurture. Yeah, so you need to focus on something that you can grow and nurture that will fill your heart. Not something that's going to stress you out because you think it's going to be more acceptable to the world or more acceptable to the people around you. And that is a tough one. That's a tough road to walk. You know, if you've got people around you that aren't in your, you know, it could be family, it could be friends, that aren't on your wavelength, there comes a point where you have to say to yourself, look, I can't carry on denying myself to please all these other people, as important as they are to me. You know, I have to express myself. I have to be myself, and that might mean I have to be true to myself, and that might mean that you incur some losses along the way, because that does sometimes happen. But again, like I'm saying, you know, the most important person in your life really is you. That's who you need to focus on. That's who you need to care for, nurture, because you're the only person that can do it for yourself really properly. So this reading is telling you to do that. And that if you do that with the Two of Cups here, you will just feel so much more happier in yourself. And I feel like in a funny kind of way, other relationships, other things will come along, other connections will come along that will be more in line with who you are, really. Or also that you might be able to, you know, it's not going to be as bad as you think if you walk a path that you want to walk. It's not going to be as bad as you think in terms of people, not accepting you. Sometimes we can think, oh my God, no, I can't possibly tell that about everyone about this, or how I feel about that, or, you know, because I'm just going to be rejected. But sometimes, you know, it's not as, people are just going to say, okay, great, or something like that, and you don't really expect it. But that's it. They just do. They're not, so you've built this thing up in your head with the Nine of Swords here, and it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. So all I'm saying here, and I think the message here is just, if I could put it succinctly, is to follow your heart. Follow what is in your heart. Don't allow yourself to be controlled by, you know, the people around you, what they think, by what society thinks. Be individual. Be an individual. Be yourself. Be who you were born to be. The universe has your back with the sea and the signs. It has your back. It's there for you. It's supporting you. It's not always an easy road, for sure. It's not always an easy road, but it's definitely a worthwhile road, because you are being authentic, and there's nothing better in life than living an authentic life, something that is true for you. But anyway, pile number 1, that's been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, welcome back to your reading. So today we're doing a message that is meant to reach you. What message are you meant to hear today? So you chose to come into the reading under this card, which is a card that says, card number 35 says, Bewitched, you're under a spell. All right, and the rose quartz here. Super duper. So let's put that there, and let's get straight into the reading. Excuse me. I just want to say I hope you're all doing well. Sending you lots of love and light as always. Let's get straight into some oracle cards, shall we? And remind you, of course, it's a general reading, so please take the messages that resonate. And it's timeless. That's good whenever you're finding it. And if you feel like you want to subscribe, then fantastic. I'd love that. But anyway, let's get straight to it. So for pile number 2, please. So what is the message that they're meant to hear today? What is the message that is meant to reach them today? Please. No. What is the message that is meant to reach them? What's the message they're meant to hear today? Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Oh, gosh. Now look. All of these have come out, but I'm not going to take all of them. I'm just going to take the top one, because that's the one that I've seen. So you've actually got 2 of these. So you've got the sword, right? And you've got agape. I think agape means unconditional love. Right, and you've got the sword, so you've got this shade and light here. I might get the guidebook out on some of these later if I think I need them, because I'm just getting to know this deck. So this is the sword. Right, okay. Let's just put them there for now and we'll see. Let me get out one of these cards. What is the message that you are meant to hear right now, pile number 2? What is your message? Oh, look, the house, a door here. Home, private life, prosperity. It's got prosperity twice there. Prosperity, prosperity, property. All right, okay. Gosh, maybe some of you are actually literally getting a new home or moving. That could be a very literal message for some of you, somewhere that you're going to love. Maybe you don't see it at the moment, but it's coming towards you. So that's a very literal message. It's only going to apply to a few people. Sorry, I've had this cough for weeks. And I've just got I'm very coffee in a lot of my readings lately. So excuse me. Excuse me, goodness me. Oh, something on my old throat chakra there. But anyway, let's get out a rune. So what is the message that's meant to reach pile number 2 right now? What's the message, please? Manaz, which is the self. The individual or the human race, your attitude toward others and their attitudes towards you, friends and enemies, social order. Right, okay, let me have one of these. So what is the message? What is the message, please, that's meant to reach pile number 2 today? Gold, you don't need someone else to fix you. You don't need someone else to fix you. Card number 36. Just put that there. Let's get out the tarot here. What is the message that is meant to reach pile number 2 today, please? What is the message that is meant to reach pile number 2 today? We have the 2 of Cups. We have, okay, yeah. All right. What else have we got here? The 9 of Swords. The 7 of Swords. Oh my goodness. And the 8 of Swords. Wow. 9, 7 and 8. And the overarching energy is the King of Wands. What is the message here that is meant to reach pile number 8 here? Okay, so I feel like in this, what the message is here, or part of the message is you might be on the verge of, or feeling like, or the message is to step into your own power. Because there's something about this reading which makes me feel that for some reason, maybe you're not feeling confident about something, or you're feeling very stressed or very worried or stuck. Maybe there's some trust issues going on in your life at the moment with the 7 of Swords, some doubt, some fears. And it could be for many of you, it's a relationship that you're a bit untrustworthy of, or stressed about, or stuck in. And it might be that you feel like you don't have control of the narrative or control of the situation with the Bewitched. You're under a spell. It may be that you, when I say step into your own power, need to kind of like assert yourself a bit more in the situation, because it's got here, you don't need someone else to fix you. So I feel like maybe if it's a connection, if it's a relationship, maybe you have been a bit not exactly passive, but have allowed things to kind of go a certain way, which maybe haven't been that great for you, maybe caused you a lot of stress and worry because you feel a lot of love or attraction or whatever for this person. But the sword really is about kind of like, swords are about it's reminded me of the Ace of Swords. It's about being clear, it's about being confident, it's about making a decision. So I feel like maybe it's about, this message is telling you to find confidence with the King of Wands within yourself to express your desires, because the under the spell kind of makes me feel like you haven't had full control or full power in the situation. If it's a connection, if it's not a connection, if it's nothing to do with a relationship, what I think it is saying is that, you know, you need to still come into your own power, that you are a powerful person, that you've got the potential to be stable with the House here, to be you know, to be prosperous, to have all the good things, if you like, in life. But there's something around you needing to love yourself a little bit more, because the agape is like unconditional love. So this message is saying that you can do that, that you need to maybe have more confidence in yourself. Don't be, maybe I want to say, don't be maybe guided all the time by others, guided by what other people think, with all the swords here, worried about what other people think. Maybe it's about you being able to be confident in your own skin, to live the kind of life that you want to live. So if you're single, I would say it's something about you needing, what this message is saying is that it's okay for you to be yourself with the Knight of Cups here, and it's okay for you to you know, do the things that you want to do, to be who you want to be. Just be confident about that, be strong in that. Be happy with yourself. Don't be tempted to always follow or listen to other people's advice about how you should live your life, because it's, you know, you've got the power in this card here to decide your own course, you know, your own course of action, your own path, if you like, and it's not going to mean that you aren't going to then have the kind of life that you want to have. So I feel like there's something about you needing to be more independent and confident in yourself here. But if it is a relationship, maybe you know, the other person has been allowed to dominate the relationship a little bit too much, or has been allowed to call all the shots. Maybe they've been very romantic, and it has been, you know, and it has a lot of good things going for it. But by the same token, I feel, and that's why you've got this light and shade here, because it almost reflects these cards. These are the light and these are the shade. So I feel like the relationship has maybe two sides to it. And I think that sometimes that can cause a lot of stress for you. And it could be because, you know, this person has had all the shots or has done something. It could be that this person, because you've got this lightning going through it, this person has maybe done something that has created distrust, or created literally a, you know, like a crack through the connection, and it's about you deciding or having more control in the situation, and deciding for yourself how you want things to go forward, going forwards, right? What you want to happen in the situation, rather than being passive and letting things happen to you, really. So it's kind of like about, you know, so this is why you've got the self as well. You know, it's about you valuing yourself, really. Don't be controlled, really. I think that's probably what I want to say. Is like, you don't feel like you have to be controlled, or try to release yourself from a sense of control from others, and be more confident, stronger in yourself. And you can do that. You will do that. You know, you have got the potential to do that, because it says here you don't need someone else to fix it. You've got the strength, pile number one, to be able to, you know, go down the path that you want to do, or take the action that you want to take. Certainly. But anyway, let's get some more cards out here. So, what is the message that pile 2 needs to hear right now? What is the message that they need to hear? So yeah, so step into your own power. Pick up that sword and step into your own power. Be honest and true to yourself. What is the message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? So we have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like you are moving away. You will be moving away from stress. and anxiety. The Six of Swords is moving away from difficulties. So that is coming in for you, and it is going to be like a new cycle where you are going to be practicing unconditional love towards yourself, building and creating more stability for yourself. Because I feel like maybe you haven't had that. And maybe for some of you in a relationship, you might have had a lot of romance. There might have been a lot of... it might have been great at the beginning. If it's a connection, it might have been great at the beginning, but then it sort of went a bit sour, or it went a bit south, really. And it's because this person maybe called all the shots, and those shots maybe weren't that great for you. What is the message that pile number 2 is meant to hear right now? We have the 10 of Cups. We have the 9 of Wands. Yeah, definitely. You're definitely going to be moving into balance, pile number 2, 100% here. You know, you're coming out of stress. The overarching energy here is a 3 of Swords, which is that there has been heartache. I feel like maybe for some of you might have gone through a bit of a breakup here. Or there's been, if you're not in a relationship, there's been some sort of heartache. There's been some kind of loss or pain. Many of you might have been just creating a lot of pain for yourself through the way that you're thinking about things. Because the 3 of Swords is a little bit like that. But I feel like you are definitely moving into a new cycle where you're just going to feel a lot happier. Possibly because you're choosing to give more love to yourself. You're choosing to respect yourself more. I feel like I want to say you're waking up, because it might have been before with the Bewitched card here that you were just not awake to your own needs or your own desires or your own self-worth, maybe. And that might have meant that you were controlled, or you maybe, you know, and again, it's not like a criticism of you. I'm just saying, like, we can often go through very difficult childhoods or very difficult experiences, which means that we don't always automatically have a sense, you know, a strong sense of self, because that strong sense of self hasn't been allowed to develop because it's been crushed from a very young age. So it becomes harder as an adult, doesn't it, to you know, be self-assured, to be confident. You know, we say these things as if it's really easy to do. Often it's not easy to do. But what I feel is that you are moving now into a new cycle. The world is the end of an old cycle, and into a new cycle where you're going to feel emotionally a lot happier. And I feel like as well that for many of you it might be the release of a relationship that maybe wasn't going that well for you, or that wasn't doing it for you, or that wasn't valuing you. I feel like that many of you are going to release that, and it's going to lead to you feeling a lot happier because you somehow stood up for yourself. You stood tall. You didn't take any more of you know, some of the poor treatment that you might have been subject to. You stood tall. You you know, you shone your own light for yourself, really. You healed yourself. You got over it. You're dealing with it. You dealt with it, and it's led to balance, or it's going to lead to balance. So out of all this stuck energy, this anxiety, this you know, somebody making poor choices or not treating you properly, you are moving into a state of balance. And it could be that it's not a relationship. It could be that you just experienced all those things whilst growing up, or when you were younger, or in your adult life, or, you know, where you didn't feel valued. You didn't feel special. You didn't feel important. That led to you feeling very anxious. You couldn't trust anyone. You know, feeling stuck in life. When actually, I think as a soul, I mean, we're all like this as souls, but I think for you, you know, you are a very light person in yourself. I think, you know, naturally, I think you've got a lot of light in you. You've got a lot of creativity in you. You've got a lot of love. And maybe that has been not treated right, or abused, or you know, so you've had to shut down a little bit, or you've had to close off a little bit. And I think what this message is, that it's, you know, you're moving in out of that now. You're moving away from that, and it might be because you're choosing to move away from relationships or people, and those people could be quite close to you, that are not nurturing, that don't see you. They don't see your value. They don't see your worth. They don't see you and accept you as you are. So sometimes when that happens, we have to move away from those people, those relationships, because they're not nourishing us. They're not nurturing us. And I feel like that maybe you're getting the strength, because with this card here, you are waking up to your own strength, and you are choosing. I think the key word here is that you are choosing to move into balance and equilibrium. You're choosing to be stable with the house here. You're choosing to give yourself love. You're making that choice to move from dark to light. You're doing that for yourself. Pile number 2. So well done. It's fantastic, actually. Yeah, so that is basically what I see. That is your message for today, pile number 2. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. But otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, welcome. Welcome to your reading. So lovely to have you here joining me for this pick a card reading. So today we're doing the message that you are meant to hear today. What is the message that you is meant to reach you? So you chose to come into the reading under this card, which is card number 27, Witching Herbs Nourishment, and the red Jasper here. Now for some of you it might be very specific, but there might be something around you needing to take or put attention on your health at the moment with the nourishment here and all the herbs. Just for some of you, there may be something that you need to think about, or there may be something about you putting attention on your body, paying attention to what you eat, exercise, that kind of thing. But let us see what we've got. Just want to remind you, of course, it is a general reading, so please just take the messages that resonate, and it's timeless, so it's good for whenever you're finding it. And I hope everyone is doing well. Of course, I'm sending you all my love and light, as I always do. And if you feel like you want to subscribe, then fantastic. That would be lovely. But anyway, let's get straight to it. So what's the message that pile number 3 is meant to hear today? What is, what are they meant to hear? What's meant to reach them today, please? What is the message? Let's go for that one. Let's see what we have. We have the Eternal Child. The Eternal Child. What is that? Beautiful rainbow colours here. The Eternal Child. Card number 4. Okay, so I'm just still learning this deck, so I might get the guidebook out for that if I think I need that later. Right, okay, so let's get out one of these cards. What is the message that is meant to reach pile number 3 right now, please? What are they meant to hear right now? Let's have a look and see what we've got. The Lily. A coach, patron or matron, passion, sex, power, relationships. Okay, the Lily. It's almost reminding me of birth and death, isn't it? Lily is often related to, we often put lilies, don't we, around on coffins and when people die. And then you've got the Eternal Child here. So cycles, something about cycles. Anyway, let's get a rune card here. What is the message that is meant to find pile number 3 right now, please? We have nowadays. This came out in pile. I can't remember which one this came out in. Was it pile number 1 or 2? Delays, restriction, resistance leading to strength, innovation, self-reliance, distress, confusion, conflict, and the power of will to overcome them. I feel like this one is poking out. I'm going to take it, which is Canaz. Vision, revelation, knowledge, creativity, inspiration, technical ability, vital fire or life, harnessed power, fire of transformation and regeneration. I mean, lilies is also associated with death. Death is about rebirth, isn't it? And regeneration. Okay. Let's get out one more before we get the tarot out. What is the message that is meant to be for pile number 3? What are they meant to hear today, please? What is pile number 3 meant to hear today? What is the message that they are meant to hear today? Let's have a look, see what we've got here. Clover, release your guilt. Card number 21, release your guilt. Okay. Let's get out some tarot. What is pile number 3 meant to hear right now, please? What is the message they're meant to hear? So we've got the Queen of Wands, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Sun card, we've got the Hermit, and we've got the Seven of Cups. And the overarching energy is the Six of Pentacles. Right, okay, so let's have a little look at this. So what is the message that they are meant to hear right now, please? Okay, sorry, I just needed to pause that there just to get a bit of a sense. I think the initial message that I had about looking after yourself is definitely coming through here. So for many of you, I feel like there's a sense of, because the Eternal Child, the archetype, is about, you know, it's kind of like a card of excess, really. It's a card of kind of really partying hard, going at life hard, having excessive joy, all that kind of stuff. But obviously there's burnout that's associated with that. So I feel like, because it comes right next to the lily as well, I just feel like the message here is to, maybe with a Hermit card, to, if you've been feeling that you've been on the kind of fast lane of life, really, or in a fast-paced environment or a fast-paced life, the message here is to kind of like take a step back from that a little bit here. Because I feel like with the release your guilt and the nourishment and the Eternal Child, I feel like maybe there's a need for you to just kind of like take a little bit of a step back and to look after yourself a little bit better, to purge yourself of anything, any habits or behaviours that aren't nourishing you, that aren't doing you any good. So that might be that there were certain, you know, if you, like I say, if you've been partying too much, or if you've been, you know, living a life that is not nourishing you in whatever capacity. So whether that's, you know, you're doing a job that you don't like, or you're in a relationship that isn't right, or you're around people that aren't right, or you've been living a life where the pace has been too fast. I feel there's something about you needing to kind of get off that bandwagon a little bit, really, and take better care of yourself. There's a message of transformation, I think, in the Lily card, because it's associated with death, as I said. So I feel like something about transforming your life, things becoming more quiet somehow, something like quieting the noise, or quieting the constant activity, or something like that, because there's a need here for health. With the Sun card here being central, there's a need to kind of really focus in on your health, on being, you know, kind of mind, body and spirit. Your kind of like overall holistic health is something that you need to take care of right now. And I feel like you will do that, because I do see that there's a period of reflection coming up for you, or a period of, and also with the Eight of Cups, a time where you're going to, you know, of walking away. I feel like it might be walking away from a certain lifestyle, or walking away from a certain relationship, or certain connections, or something where it might have been fun and great and wonderful, but now it's time to kind of move away from that, because maybe you're wanting something a bit deeper, or something a bit more, or something a bit more, a little bit more spiritual, or a little bit more, a little bit deeper, really. I feel like maybe you're wanting something that's deeper. So anything that isn't on that wavelength, or isn't on that you know, where it's not resident, it's not like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? There's not not radiating, but not kind of like on that level, is something that you are now seeking to let go of, really. So I feel like maybe the message is that you are needing to look after yourself. You're needing to give yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of literally mind, body and spirit love. So that means looking after your body, looking after your mind, looking after your health overall. Maybe releasing yourself from thoughts that, you know, are holding you back, or that are, you know, thoughts that you don't necessarily need to have anymore. So you're letting all of that go. And with that, you're letting go of a certain lifestyle, you're letting go of a certain way of being, which maybe supported that, because you're realising that your health is more important, and that is the thing that you want to focus on. You want to focus on your health, really. And it's kind of like a new beginning for you. It's going to be like a new tangible new beginning, a new start with the Ace of Pentacles here. So maybe as well, you know, things were kind of fleeting before, or life was a little bit fleeting. There wasn't really much substance to it or much stability to it. And through this process of beginning to look after yourself, you're realising that you want something more stable and more solid, something that gives you, better health, a quieter way of living. I keep getting that word, quieter, or more, less hectic, or less, it's deeper. It's just sort of deeper, spiritually deeper. And something whereby because the Eight of Cups is always walking away from something into the Nine of Cups, which is always a better, wish fulfillment, a better place to be than the Eight of Cups. And with the Queen of Wands, you are moving into a truly confident time. So sometimes when we're out there and we're, we might be the life and the soul of the party, and we might be somebody who looks on the outside to be very confident. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is internally very confident, so she has true confidence. Is somebody who knows herself very well, who understands herself very well, who is, doesn't have to, she's got very much got the capability to be the life and soul and to be very social, but she doesn't need to be like that to show that she is confident and powerful, because she just naturally is. So I feel like you're moving into a stage in your life which is a certain amount of shedding, and it has been, and a catalyst for that, I think, is because there's something around you needing to take care of in your health, which is then making you reflect and just release certain situations or certain people that no longer kind of meet, are where you are really, or where you want to be. And the Six of Pentacles just says to me that maybe you're looking now for energy where it's more reciprocated, it's a bit more give and take, it's calmer, it's everything's a lot more low key, but it's giving you sort of true confidence. It's making you feel truly confident, truly confident in yourself, healthy. The Queen of Wands is also very healthy, so I feel like this looking after your health, shedding what you don't need anymore, is really benefiting your health and making you sort of shine, really. And it's going to be some kind of transformation. It's a move from it's a move into maturity, I think. It's a move from this to this, which is a move into maturity, true maturity, where you feel self-assured and happy within yourself. But it comes with it. There's this kind of period of taking stock, of looking after yourself, and in that process becoming more reflective. So that is all going on for you kind of now, really, is what I would say. There's some sort of transformation going on, and you might have been carrying a lot of guilt or weight over something which has made you feel unwell. And also sometimes when we have all these kind of negative feelings or these heavy stuff that we might be carrying from very early on. Often what we do with that sometimes is we behave in certain ways that are escapist. That means we escape. We try to escape that kind of feeling through surface level stuff, and that's, sometimes that could be drink, drugs, sex, all that kind of devil energy, really, I suppose. But it's only when we get off that bandwagon and we take stock, and we heal ourselves, and we take time to think about what's important for us, what should be our special journey, that we can, become our true selves and fulfill our true potential. So I feel like there's something like that going on for this pile. But let us get out some more cards. So what is the message that is meant to reach pile number 3 right now, please? So we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Chariot. Yeah, so it's definitely something that's happening quickly for you. I feel like this new start. So this kind of area of healing and everything is happening now. It's all going on now for you. We have the Ace of Cups can often mean self-love. We have the Two of Swords. And again, we have the Six of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands twice. You see, you've got the Queen of Wands twice there. So you're definitely moving in to true confidence, to a sense of feeling, and also a really being popular. Now, this is more like popular in a sort of popular in a kind of teenage popular kind of way. But the Queen of Wands is truly popular, truly, has a lot of people that admire her. So I think that when you go through this period of looking after yourself, of nourishing yourself, you'll become internally much stronger. And as a result, you'll vibrate, that's the word I'm looking for, you'll vibrate so high. So I feel like you're moving into a situation where you're vibrating so high because of the healing that you will realise that you need to do and that you will do, and that you'll have a strong sense of self-love. And it might be at the moment that you're going through this period, and maybe you've had this period, maybe this period has passed, and you're going through a period of being on your own and you're not sure how it's all going to turn out here with the Two of Swords. You're not sure what way it's going to go. You're looking for balance with the scales here on this. I don't know if you can see there's some scales, or what look like scales on this girl's arm, but you're looking for balance. You're wanting balance, but you're not sure how it's all going to go. And what I would say is that it's definitely going to balance itself out here with the Six of Pentacles, because that's all about reciprocated energy, give and take energy. So I feel like it's definitely going to balance, you're definitely going to balance yourself out. Now for some of you as well, just can't help noticing, it could mean the start of a new relationship with the Knight of Cups here and the Ace of Cups. So it could be that once you go through this period of, looking after yourself, releasing, strengthening your inner core, your heart, your mind, body, heart, all of that, then a new relationship comes along, which is going to be very, very, very loving, very caring. It's going to be nurturing for you, certainly, and it's going to be like a reciprocated energy, a give and take kind of energy. So that's just an aside for some of you that, you will attract a much better type of partner once you recognise or realise your true worth, and you have true confidence within yourself, that comes from the inside out, if you know what I mean, rather than the outside in. So you don't need other people or situations to make you feel confident. You just have that. It just vibrates within you, and often that can come from spending a lot of time working on yourself, healing yourself, but it's nevertheless core confidence, what I would call core confidence, rather than sort of surface confidence. And once that happens, you will quickly, I think, meet someone who will be very loving towards you, and you will feel very loving towards them. Certainly. but it's something that you know, you are moving into now. You're moving quickly into it, either into that healing stage, or if you're in the healing stage already, you're moving through that healing stage, and out of it, you will feel a lot more balanced, and I think it will give you a lot of people that admire you. You'll have a lot of admiration, because you will have that kind of inner strength, that kind of like core strength that, you know, a lot of people just kind of, with that sort of strength, you know, they can walk into a room and they just have that radiance about them, don't they? Or they just have that aura about them, which makes people look at them, or makes people aware of them. But it doesn't, you know, they don't have to be loud, or they just have something. They just carry something in them, and people can sense that they are, you know, they are someone who is happy in their life and is centered and balanced, really. So I feel that's all coming for you, and it's coming very quickly, pile number 3. But anyway, that has been your reading. I hope you liked it. If you have, please do consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.